do live in an auto state. There's no doubt about that. Auto cars, they're kind of part of our DNA here in Michigan, and we get to learn all about a special event that has to do with automotive right here on the Travel Michigan program next. I'm Dave Lorenz along with Michelle Grinnell. And Michelle, what would that auto event be?
That would be the 50th anniversary of the Ford Mustang. A beautiful car, iconic car. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the Henry Ford is home to Mustang Serial Number One and the Mustang I Concept Car. So we are really excited to be talking with Christian Overland, who is the Vice President at the Henry Ford. Welcome to the show, Christian. And how long has the Serial One Mustang been at the Henry Ford?
Oh, hi, Michelle and David. Good to talk with you. The Serial Number One has been at the Henry Ford, well, going on to 1986 is when we put it on exhibit. It's a great story. It was accidentally bought by someone in Canada. A dealer sold it by accident to an airplane pilot, Stanley Tucker, and he actually traded it in 1966 for the millionth Mustang made.
Wow.
So Ford got it back, and then they deposited it in the museum. And so it's been on public view continually since 1986.
That's pretty cool. You know, I actually thought that the Henry Ford basically got all of those number one versions of important cars from at least Ford.
Well, we do, and not all of them, but we have significant ones from the 440 to early cars in the number one, because it doesn't exist in the original production, but we have Henry Ford's quadricycle, and that's where
true.
It all began.
Yeah.
And we have Sweepstakes, his very first race car, which he raced in 1901, which he garnered some money and started a motor company, and then started another one, and then the third one he started racing and got a company going, became Ford Motor Company as we know it today.
Well, you know, the Henry Ford is so much more than automobiles, but you do have this tremendous automobile exhibit there, and I'm sure during this 50th anniversary year, you have some special things to kind of commemorate the Mustang.
Absolutely. The Driving America exhibition is going on its second year. It's a permanent exhibition inside Henry Ford Museum, 85,000 square feet. What's really special about this year with the Mustangs, with celebrating the 50th anniversary, is we have a wonderful small exhibit that's really prominent, talking about the 50th anniversary. So Mustang Roman numeral 1, actually, that's the concept car. That was made in 1962. And as a concept car, it ran. It actually raced at Watkins Glen in New York. And Dan Gurney, who was a Formula One driver back then, raced the car, and wonderful pictures and promotions of it. So we have that along with the production number one. But what's really going on this year that's really fabulous is we have a tour of the Mustangs that's been going on for the past 6 months, and it continues into April.
Now, what do you mean by a tour?
So, since this is a world celebration of the 50th anniversary, we started off with the Mustangs going out to Jay Leno's garage in California. And that was in November. And so Jay, he has this wonderful cable show on jaylenosgarage.com. And so he did a half-hour episode of it. From there, it went to the auto show down in downtown Detroit, the North America Auto Show. And now we're going out to Charlotte, North Carolina, and Las Vegas.
Wow. So it's kind of a roaming show. Does it come back to Michigan?
It will. They'll be back in Michigan, and so where they're going to be in Charlotte and in Las Vegas at the same time, April 17th to the 20th is a big celebration of the 50th anniversary of Mustang, and so we're providing the cars, one in each speedway, the Charlotte Motor Speedway and the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But then they come back for Motor Muster, which is Father's Day weekend, all part of the celebration in Greenfield Village. We'll have over 600 motor vehicles, cycles too, and race cars, but also a select number of Mustangs to celebrate the 50th anniversary, Father's Day weekend.
So all these cars will be actually displayed at Greenfield Village?
That's right.
Well, what a unique place to display cars.
Absolutely. So why not come into Greenfield Village, experience 300 years of American history, and a whole load of Mustangs at the same time?
Yeah, that's really neat. You know, Christian, when you come to the Henry Ford, I know there are those really cool kind of interactive displays at the auto exhibit, so you can learn about various cars. Is there a place where you can learn about the Mustang?
There is. And so everything that's in our electronic interactive exhibits inside Driving America are also available on the web. So if you go to the henryford.org, and on the homepage you'll see collections. You click on that, and in the browser for collections.org there, you'll be able to type in Mustang, and you'll see close to 1,000 images of the Mustang. You know, from photographs to interviews. You actually have 360 photographs of the car, so you can actually see the interiors of the car, the engines of the car, both cars, Mustang 1 and Roman numeral 1. And you'll be able to hear from people like Dan Gurney when he raced the Mustang at Watkins Glen, what that meant to him.
Well, you know, I was telling Michelle before the program that the Mustang was my first new car, and the memories I have of that car are really special, maybe because it was my first, but also because of its iconic nature. It really is a different car than so many others.
Well, it really is. Think about World War II, right? Post-war era. You know, the family car was pretty much the reigning automobile in North America and the world at that point in time. But then all of a sudden, in post-war world, in the 1950s, people had some extra money, and they started spending it in a variety of ways. That's really when the two-car family came about, and the Mustang came about as a sports car for young men and young women, affordable, and it just hit the market. It blew it out. And so that's why you have that style of car, whether it's a Mustang or it's a Barracuda or another thing. They're all called the pony car category because the Mustang was the lead, the innovator, and the Mustang is the prevailing one today.
Yeah, it's a cool car. Any other thing at the Henry Ford to do with the Mustang 50th that we need to be aware of?
Well, the other thing that's kind of cool that's global to talk about with your visitors is in England, the Silverstone Classic going on July 26th. The Pure Michigan campaign is out there celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Mustang.
True. And
we're supporting it with a variety of images, and some of our friends that are in England will be racing Mustangs that day. And so we have friends all around the world. And that really goes to something about this, too, is that the Mustangs have been on tour. They're going to be going at other places, yet to be announced in the late summer. But we have collections that are all over the world. And that's part of what the Henry Ford does, is creates opportunities for people to see these. And it's like bringing paintings to different museums, right? It's a chance to celebrate these artifacts as works of art, but also as icons of our history.
Yeah, and the information you have in the automotive exhibit, does it go into details on how the Mustang was developed? You know, the creators, the people behind the story of how that car was really put together?
It does, and so it goes into it in a fairly in-depth in the primary materials, whether it's the pitch kits or interviews with different people that worked on the car. It also is not a book, and so there are many books out there that we sell in our stores or online, too, that celebrate the Mustang anniversary as well. But the neat thing about it is we have our own book called Driving America that people can get that actually talk about the car in context, too.
That's fantastic. Remind us again, real quickly, what are the dates when all these cars will be at Greenfield Village?
So, Motor Muster is June 14th and 15th, Father's Day weekend, and that's when we celebrate the 50th anniversary in Greenfield Village.
Going to be fantastic. What's your website, Christian?
We're at thehenryford.org, and I can ask your people to look at the on-channel part of that, where they can look at On Wheels, and they can actually sign up to get more information there about everything automotive.
That sounds great. Thank you so much. Christian Overland, Vice President at the Henry Ford, where all these fun things are happening year-round, and, of course, those special events as well around Father's Day weekend. For more information, just go to thehenryford.org. Well, that's all the time we have for Travel Michigan this week. I want to thank Mark Blackwell for engineering today's program in such a fine manner. I want to also thank Michelle Grinnell for being here today, and I'm really happy you were able to join us today as well. Please join us next week right here on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at michigan.org.